This program is sponsored by Mediterranean Garden Centre, who give advice every week to help you with the jobs in your garden.
Hello and welcome to Garden Time with Serdar ARAPOÞLU. My name's Sue Ghazi. Hello Serdar, how are you today?
Thank you. It's nice to be in the green area today.
It certainly is, and Serdar has asked us to come into this garden today, and we're going to be talking about garden maintenance, aren't we?
Yes, that's what we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the garden maintenance and empty gardens now. People clean in the garden, and now we need to do some planting. We're just going to give some ideas for all watcher what they need to do and what kind of the flowers they can choose, what kind of the maintenance they need to do in the garden. We're just going to give some tips about that.
That's right, because now it's just starting to get a little bit cool, a bit more bearable anyway, so we can spend more time in the garden doing some maintenance.
Yes, it is time to do that. Well, as we start feeling cooler, first of all, I'm sure a long time ago you take out the weeds and everything, but I'm sure you are end up with a very bad garden at the moment, because it's been a very bad year for the no water. It was too hot, and I'm sure you have lots of sickness in your garden as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So first of all, we need to use the right tools, which is, we have some examples here. We have these scissors, the very good quality ones.
And of course having the right tools is very important for the job, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, if you have sharp secateurs like this, you're going to avoid disease, aren't you, when you're actually pruning? You're going to get a good sharp cut, which is what you need for the water to fall off and to prevent rotting on the branches there.
Yeah, healthy cutting, sharp, and of course, yes, is the one of the things to do, the cleaning and then spraying. But if it's too much sickness there, fungus and infects, we have to clean them up. We have to cut them all round, and then later we start to spray or give the vitamin. This is one of the things we need to do.
Yes.
Of course, at the moment is worms time, all the worms coming out, and you can start to see eggs is breaking in and lots of different pets is coming out, which is we need to watch out them as well. I'm trying to say not only just the leaves, on the bottom we have trouble this time of the year as well. So we have to make sure that we're using the right chemicals to use for the soil area as well, which is, we can always use the watering can.
That's right,
Yes, we already have there water. And then after you put in the chemicals, we can always put some vitamin as well for inside to make sure. This is iron vitamin.
That's iron.
Yeah, that's iron vitamin. It's very practical to use it. All you need to do, just open it like this, and you can just drop it there. Let me just do it like this. Simple as that. Simple as that, and you can mix it with the chemicals, of course.
Well, that's very useful to know, because then you do two jobs in one, don't you?
Exactly. You can always adjust, because there is a house minicum is needed here. You can adjust the chemical and drop it there, of course, and then just straight away you can give them on it. This is what you need to do.
And the good thing to know as well is that at the Mediterranean Garden Centre, you're licensed, aren't you, to have
for
these
the
chemicals.
You have to staff horses to specialists for the chemicals. And you have to get this license for the government to do these chemicals jobs, of course. Because little mistake is affecting the people. We can say, okay, this is grass, this is lawn. You don't eat lawn, but you sit on it. Your children is play with it, and of course even the flowers You are always live with them. You are always close with them, which is not good idea to use the wrong chemicals.
Yeah, and for any advice regarding chemicals in the garden, of course, they can come to Mediterranean Gardens.
They're very welcome. Yes,
Contact you
exactly.
And, you know,
They can always bring the branches, as we always say. They can always bring the branches, or we can visit the garden for them.
Yeah,
You can
a good
visit
idea.
the garden and look what's wrong with your garden, what's wrong with your lawn and your fruit trees, and give idea for you. Yeah, and then after we watering, we use the worms chemical for roots and everything. We need to do the cuttings. After cuttings, we can spray on the top, which is there is some chemicals. Then we can do very easily our job. And that's thank you. That's the Gardena sprayer. We already put the chemicals and the vitamins there.
Yeah.
So all you need to do when you're spraying the plants, you have to make sure you spraying them very, very nicely. Sometimes what is the problem is just quick spraying like this. They just doing it and they stop.
And that's not enough then?
No, not enough. Have to be plant spraying very, very nicely.
Yeah.
So make sure spraying everywhere to, like we saying, like a rain.
Yeah. Would you go into the bottom of the plant as well, or
You
not?
can,
Or would you
yes,
let it just
you
fall
can
down?
use from the bottom. You can use the watering can.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But if you don't use it, it's better. Just put in the root and just drop it there.
Yeah.
We can just do this as well. Just keep there sometimes, and then this is all taken down, and at least this is depends of the chemical using as well. If you're using the worms X breaking chemical, which is you break that X as well, and you don't give the chance to later X open and all the worms come out.
Yeah, well, that's useful if you can stop the the things from hatching out. To kill the eggs first.
You don't take any risk.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
take any
important,
risk,
isn't
and
it?
then from the beginning you finish the completely this situation. Of course, the chemicals we use depends of the what sickness they have on the plants, depends of the what kind of the problems you have on your lawn. This is important. But chemical we don't use systematic ones. We use only temporary one, and we try to use the short period time to stay in there, which is, for example, we use ounce. The ounce, when you spray your lawn, it takes only 3 days. 3 days later, you can just walk on it.
Really?
It's that much short time.
It's as quick as that?
Yeah, it's quicker. And this chemical is also breaking eggs. Is breaking eggs, and very high quality pure chemical has inside. Working very good. So choosing the right chemical is very important, of course.
Yeah.
And again, on the lawn, you can use the strongest chemical ones as well. This is the powder one. So you can always do the mix together. So what we say mix together, the worms, chemicals, fungus, and of course we have example here for the vitamins.
Yeah.
So
you can mix them all together.
Yeah.
So you're doing 3 jobs in one.
exactly.
That's what we want.
That's
isn't
what
it?
we want. That's what we want. To doing this regularly, you just making your job professional way.
Yeah.
Because with that way, you don't risk your lawn, you don't risk your plants. Because honestly, after when you cut that, when you have this sickness, to clean the lawn and bring the back again to normal, is too much time. And most important things, you will lose the season.
Yeah. I mean, of course, if you can do this regularly, you can prevent all these from happening.
Yes, exactly. So, of course, the summertime you're gonna enjoy your lawn, and this time of the year, especially the August, what's happened? We heard we are in trouble time with August, and they just think because the August is the hot time, that's why this lawn is really bad. It's not only that, because the August time is the time to the eggs they're breaking down. So that's why that time of the year is all this happening. So August and beginning of the September always is the right time to opening the eggs and the very bad time for the lawns.
Right, so if we can prevent that, it's going to save us a lot of work later on, a lot of hassle.
It is, yes. So it's important to just do the very right things from the beginning. We always say in spraying, and as you know, we try to protect our plants and the flowers and everything all alone. But first things we should do protect is ourselves. So what we need to do, always put on the mask, of course, and when you're doing the spraying as well, the glass.
That's it. It's important to protect your eyes, isn't it?
For eyes and for breathes and everything. And this is the best way to spray, of course, because sometimes when you spray, it's coming to you.
Especially if it's windy like today.
If it's windy, So always you just put this to show our garden lovers what they need to do. Of course, always protecting themselves as well. This is important. And then, of course, time now to take out the summer flower. I'm sure most of them dry and yellow, and they don't look nice. We have some kalonchi here, which is, as you know, kalonches is a very hardy plant. They don't need much water. They come different flower.
They're beautiful, aren't they? When they're planted in a group like that.
We always say in group and the flower is staying long time. This is the one of the reason we choose in the kalonche, of course. And you have to make sure just not too much water, kalonche, because if you give too much water, they start to come out. Because they are very soft leaves and everything.
That's right. Because I mean, the leaves actually look like a succulent plant. Don't they? A bit like a cactus type thing. So that maybe that's why they don't.
That's give you idea as well why shouldn't put that much water with them as well. Of course, we have cyclamen. I always love cyclamen.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are, yes. And you can plant them now all autumn and the winter time. They will be in your garden. Even the springtime as well, if you look after them until end of the May, you can keep the cyclamen. So we have very long period in your garden time for cyclamen, I believe.
I mean, although winter is starting to come, and we always sort of think that winter's going to be, dead and it's going to be cold and what have you. There are so many different coloured plants, and to brighten up the garden.
That's what we say in the planning the gardening.
That's it.
Because this means if it's the summer finish, and end of the garden time. No, always there is time for garden. So just to make sure you choosing the plant and everything. And we have some gardenia here, which is, we believe, this country, winter time you can plant, autumn time you can plant the gardenia.
And these will stay outside, won't they, in the garden?
Yes, they stay outside in the garden. Of course, if you choose in the shade area for the summertime as well, you can plant the gardenia. But the winter time and autumn time, they don't mind. Mostly we plant them on the pots. If you use the acidic soil, it's very good for them, or acidic vitamin, you can keep them very healthy, and of course
very lovely scent.
Very lovely scent. I always like scent for gardening to be is nice to keep the scent in there.
So would they require a different kind of fertilizer, when you're
if you use the acidic fertilizer, is best for them, because always the shade plants, because they don't get enough sun, enough light, is good idea to give them the acidity.
Right.
So this is the best things to do. And chrysanthemum. We have here chrysanthemum as well. Of course, this is the double flower one, and Chrysanthemum always is long time as well. You can keep it in your garden. It's very easy to maintain it. It's very easy to look after it. Even summertime you can keep them in the garden as well. But this is the time after September they start to flower, and they start to flower in very long time.
Yeah.
Chrysanthemum, this country on the Cyprus is very popular, but the main country they use it in the world is Italy. You know, and there is so many meanings. Chrysanthemum, the white, what is means, and there is yellow, what is means. There is so many meanings. So it's good to keep the chrysanthemum in the garden as well. Chrysanthemum, they need, of course, if the soil is good and all soil, and you keep it the little big feed as well, you can keep the leaves green and you can get big flowers. Also, chrysanthemum has different ones as well. You can always get the big heads as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big head ones.
Yeah. And is this a different variety from this, or is it that it's been grown in a different way?
No, it's different.
It's a different kind.
It is different. Of course, these ones, when you get the original ones, for a few years, couple years, they keep flowering the big head still.
Yeah.
But as long as the time is passing, later these ones start to give the small flower as well.
All right.
Yeah. But at the moment, we have yellow ones is coming out, also brown and the bordeaux.
Good variety of colour.
Yeah, they are. And it's very easy to look after it. Straight away it's changing the garden as well, of course. One of the things I suggest to put it in the garden.
Yeah.
And we have Stephanie this year.
Yeah, that's always lovely, isn't it? Lovely scent as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we have some. We will show our watcher as well a little bit later. Because imagine you just plant them that much, and later what they will be is big different. They just grow and plant everywhere.
Is it a very easy plant to grow? Do you need to keep pruning it, or?
Yeah, the Stephanie, this is very easy to grow.
Yeah.
It doesn't need too much maintenance. It's okay without water, and the winds is okay for it, especially this area like this, and too much winds hasn't got any problem.
Yeah.
And long time they flower.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we like them as well.
Yeah.
And then we talk a little bit about the tools, of course.
Yeah.
We can have always everything for when we're doing the jobs, some quality jobs. And of course, when you're planting, you need the right tools to use.
That's it.
Of
The right
course.
tools for the job is very
right
important.
tools
Yeah.
to do the job.
Yeah.
And again, if you have all these things and you look after your garden and you're saving your tools right and their quality, you can use them very long time, of course.
That's it, yes. That's important, isn't it? If you get the right tools, at least they're not going to break, they're not going to go rusty, you're going to be able to use them for a long time.
For gardenia, you can use it very, very long time, very long time, of course. And you enjoy it, you very enjoy it when you're doing your job.
Yeah.
We talk about little bit lawn as well.
Yeah.
And now, because it's the start getting very shade areas now as well, is breaking the sun a little bit. So we can start to cut the grass shortly now, because there is no risk anymore to burn it. And as much you cut the lawn short, this means less sickness, less fungus and everything. Yeah. This is the same with the garden as well. Why we always cleaning the weeds, why we always cleaning everything. As much as your garden is clean, this means less hassle.
Yeah,
this is important.
Less weeds, less risk of disease, isn't it?
It is, yes. Yeah. So after we cutting the grass, you can use the worms chemicals, you can use the fungus, and of course fertilizer, as we say on the beginning of the program as well, mix. But always make sure you just water the garden, water the lawn, and then do the spraying. Of course, when you do the spraying, after spraying you shouldn't give any water at least 2-3 days.
Yeah.
This is important
Yeah.
because sometimes what's happening, they just maybe sometimes they use the right chemicals,
Yeah.
and the next things they do, they just give the water.
Yeah. That's
And-
going to wash it away, isn't it?
All jobs go for nothing.
Yeah.
So
So it's important once you've actually used the chemicals on your lawn, just to leave it for 2 or 3 days,
3
just
days.
to let the chemicals sink into it and do
Yeah.
its job.
exactly. I think garden lovers, they worry about it because they see it's too much dry.
Yeah, yeah, they
And
shouldn't.
they're saying, oh, yes, yeah. They're saying, oh, it's too much dry, and then I'm gonna burn it
Yeah,
as
it
well.
needs watering.
Easy
there, I
watering
think.
straight away. And of course, when the lawn is getting fungus, so many experience we have so far, which is garden owners, they think, okay, my grass is not getting enough water, so I should give water. So what's happening? They start giving more water.
Which makes it worse, doesn't
Is
it?
making it worse. So always dry areas is the less trouble means. And what we're saying, we shouldn't wait until the get the problems and spray it.
Yeah.
We should spray it regularly.
Yeah,
We should use the feed regularly,
that's it.
and then just enjoy it with the garden, enjoy with the lawn. This
That's
is
it. As,
important.
as we would sort of say, prevention is better than cure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the right words to say for it as well. Yeah. Now we're going to show some examples for the lawn and some carting and some take care of the garden.
Yeah.
Let's start with the lawn then.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the garden tools again, still in the garden, what we can do. We always say in the planning as well, but from the beginning, as we know, we're going to use lots of amateur tools in the garden, which is the mostly we use electric one.
Yeah.
So must be is going to be electric tools in your garden. So if you plan in and you put plug, as you can see here,
That's
I
it.
can show in the middle of the garden. What we did, we arranged that to use it for the tools also. And what else we can do? These araucaria trees, you can always use it for araucaria trees to make it the Christmas time to light as well.
That's true.
So-
What a good idea to have everything there in the
Yeah.
centre. So whichever electricity,
Yeah.
electrical tool that you're using,
Yeah.
in and away you go.
Yeah. Use the electric for the tools and
Yeah.
also light for the Christmas.
Ah, it's in
Yeah.
the planning.
It is in the planning. Now we're going to show the electric one. This is very powerful one,
Huh?
and also has back.
It's got a bag. That's useful as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it blows and
Yeah.
also sucks as well.
So it does both.
Yeah, yeah. So this is. You can see the power, of course. Very strong, very, very strong. Even it's electric and it's still very, very powerful. Yeah, this is one of the things, this area, to make the job too easier we can use. And of course, for the lawns we have, I'm sure you saw this before in the garden center because
we
we
did,
show
didn't
this.
we?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the battery one. Always we put it on, but it's different to show it on the grass, of course.
Yeah.
And this one, you don't need cable, you don't need petrol, you don't need anything. You just press it. Okay, lawnmowers, we have this chargeable one here. We just work with the battery. I think you saw this on the our garden center before, but is to try it on the grass is different.
Yeah.
You don't need cable, you don't need anything. You just put it in the charge, and that's it. You just use it.
Rechargeable. That's very useful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very powerful. And you can do your job very, very easily. The carton lawn is very high quality, and of course when you charge it, it's carting 150 meters square.
It's also very useful to be able to charge it up. But not only that, I mean, I'm always worried, mowing the lawn, that the cable's there. You've always
Yeah.
got to think about the cable, but with this one,
Yeah. You don't
it's
need to
very
do
safe,
anything.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's very
no
safe.
problems with
Yeah.
the cable.
You don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, and of course, is the carton time for the grass. You can choose the shade time as well. to make sure. And always after the cutting the grass, make sure you give in the water. And we saying always, if you have the separated water tank, is better. Because what's happening, you can put your vitamins, you can put your chemicals there as well. And you don't need to use the either for a spare or either nothing. And especially if you have a timer as well, straight away, you just put in the timer, and all the technology is doing for you for the maintenance, the watering, the spraying and everything.
What a good idea, making life simple.
Simple. And make the of course the garden job to enjoy it, not to fight.
Of course.
Also, as we're saying, if it's too hard, you're working very hard and end up you just seeing the not good performance loan, and you just be unhappy.
You're not going to enjoy it then, are you? You're going to say, maybe, well, we hope not, but
yeah, if you
let's cover it with concrete.
Yeah, lots of times, yes, lots of times when they call us and get the ideas about this situation, we saying, as we hear in this, let's fix it. If you cannot fix it, let's put it the concrete. They always say that as well.
It's such a shame.
So yeah, as we say, in the regularly spraying and choosing the right things to do right time. Is finishing the job, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, with this flower bed, we already before take the dead ones, as you can see.
Yeah.
This been 2 weeks now, it's been staying and now is ready to plant anything. Of course, when you're doing this, you can see the soil,
Look
how good is, and this soil is been relaxing, everything very clean. There's no weeds.
No. You can see the quality of the soil, but not only that, you can tell that plenty of air has got into the soil. It's nice and crumbly, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, because what's happened, what we did, we already work on it.
Yeah, look at that.
And there is nothing there. And also, we've been spraying this as well. So we're spraying for worms, we give feed for it, and we always return the grass as well for the soil.
Yeah.
So we're doing the compost from the grass and return it in the garden as well.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're planting, you make sure if there is some leaves, they get yellow or anything, you can take them out, or if there is some of them is already has some problems, which is there is one here is good, I can show it.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
To make sure you will get these ones out, because later I believe this is already have something on it. Yeah. So later is giving the others
spread,
as well.
Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So to make sure you check in the plant and make sure everything is okay. Of course, when you take it out as well, you can control the roots as well. If there is any problems or anything, you can see it from here. This is looking very healthy plant.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There is nothing wrong with it. So ready to plant.
There we go, in it goes, and just with 2 or 3 plants or a few plants there, it's going to transform this area, isn't it?
It is completely is going to change. Again, we check it, there is nothing on it, everything is okay. We can always plant them like a group, as we're saying. Maybe I get another one here, different color one. There you go. Straight away, when you plant them groups, straight away you can see all together. That's why we say in always group.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's these small ones, always on the bottom, on the back, you can just try to plant the big ones. So if you're choosing the cyclamen in the front, you can always just to make sure, maybe on the back, higher ones, or if you find the big higher ones, you can do it that way as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Yes. I believe you already have some idea for these days to get the plant. This is on the way, it's coming, chrysanthemum, cyclamen, and of course gardenia, of course calonche. At the moment is the right things to plant.
Yeah, it's certainly the right time for garden maintenance, and of course now we can be looking forward to planting our winter garden It's the
Yes.
right time. So thank you for inviting us here today, Serdar, to your garden.
Thank you very much. I hope it's been useful again.
I'm sure it has. Thank you for joining us and see you next week.
Thank you. Good gardening and see you again. Bye-bye.